All right, psychology of the sale. What we're going to talk about today. Why do most people fail at closing? If I say, why do you fail at selling? That's really like everybody's got a different measuring stick, right? I made X amount of appointments. I had X amount of presentations. No. We're going to talk today about closing. You doing whatever it is you do and getting paid for doing it, period. And remaining paid. If you're in a business that's got a 3-day right of rescission and you make a bunch of sales on Tuesday and they cancel on Wednesday, you didn't pay and get paid and keep. Let's talk to you about closing. Let's talk to you about getting paid and keeping your money. And let's talk about why most people suck at it. Most people will fail at closing because they actually don't see themselves as that important to people. They don't see themselves as that valuable. They don't see the value add they have for clients, and they can't envision the fact that they're the best person for the job for that client. They can't. They want to, but they don't. They just can't do it. So they've kind of set themselves, they can't close because that value add isn't there. No matter what I was selling, I believed I was the best person to sell it. I believe I was the best person for you to buy it from. I believe I was the best person to provide the support services for you. I believe I was the best person to represent you and your family. I believe I was the best person to get you to understand what you were buying your product. I get the best person to stand up for you if there's an issue with it or there's a problem or if you need to go ahead and make a claim on something or you need access. I was the best person. If you don't believe that, you can't close. Number two, once you believe that, which that's just a belief system, once you believe it, you start speaking like you're closing all the time. And what I mean by that, an example is simple terminology such as, here's what we're going to do. That's a closing line. Now that we have all this, this is what most people do. Here's what we're going to do. So here's what I need you to do now for me and for you and for your family. Like you start speaking it into existence. You're going to go ahead and get your banking information. We're going to go ahead and get this product paid for, and we're going to put it in place to make sure you and your family are taken care of. And I'm going to make sure that it stays in place. That's my job, because if you don't buy the product, or you buy the product and don't keep the product, you never get the benefit from the product, right? So there's a reason why you asked for it. There's a reason why you're getting it. But you have to understand from a closing standpoint, where the rubber meets the road after the first two is not backing down. When you go to close and you say whatever it is you say, and they stop you and start trying to sell you on why they're not going to buy, that's when you have to not give an inch. I understand what you're saying, Mark. Makes sense to me if it weren't for the fact that I know you need the product. Makes sense that you're saying that because that's a way to avoid making a decision today. Let me ask you a question. How does you not purchasing the product you asked for going to benefit you and your family? I understand why you say that. Most people tend to say that when they're faced with a buying decision. But how has that worked out for you? We know this is a product you and your family must have. We're well aware of that. You're always closing. You have to be in that position, period, end of story. And you have to be able to articulate it to people. If you can't, they're not going to take you seriously. And here's what I want you to remember, and I'm going to say this to you in closing, as I'm talking to you about closing. If I'm the client, what am I looking for? Well, if you're going to represent a product to me, and you're going to be my guy to sell it to me, you're going to be the guy to provide the service to me, you're going to be my conduit to access to the product, I don't want a weak person, I want a strong person. I want somebody I trust and shoots me straight, but I want a strong human being. Somebody who's strong enough to go ahead and basically say, you know what? You need it. You're going to get it. Here's how you're going to get it. Care about you and your family. Respect you. Understand you have decisions to make, but this one's not negotiable, and here's why. Because people are attracted to that strength, and they're repelled by the weakness. If you're wavering on me buying the product, why would I buy it from you? I might buy it. I'm not going to buy it from you. If you're wavering on selling me the product, what if I actually need to use the product? Who do I call? You, the guy that wavers? That's not going to work for me. How can I access my benefits? How can I get somebody to advocate for me? What if I get the runaround when I call? What if the company, this large, whatever it is, conglomerate, I can't get through to them? Do I got a guy that's going to stand up for me? Or do I got somebody that's going to just cower and go, no, I can't do that. I wouldn't bother them. Don't call them too much. They're really going to get upset. Wish I had a better answer for you. No, I want somebody who says, I got you. They need to answer the phone. They need to handle this. You have a valid issue, complaint, concern, question. Let's roll. That's how you become a closer. Strength-based approach. Weakness will never equal closing. Understand that. You'll be one hell of a closer. And that's your Psychology of the Sale tip for today.